Well, good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful start to your Friday morning. We're going to kick off with some gumbo chicken this morning. No, I hope you're having a good start to your day. I really do mean that. And we're not going to serve you free chicken, but we do have Simpue. She's here.
Morning.
So better than chicken. I don't say that about a lot of people. You know?
That's a good compliment.
I know. Better than chicken.
I know. Woo.
That's high praise indeed. All right. So how are you, first of all?
I'm good. How are you, Gareth?
Very good.
How's Durban?
Yes, Durban and Cape Town in like 2 days.
Ooh.
So I had quite a bit to do in both. So I didn't do anything fun or see any people that I didn't have to see for work. Mm-hmm. It was good.
Okay.
It was good. It felt like a little whirlwind tour because I was in Mpumalanga last weekend, right? So
Aren't
I
you
went
the
from
traveller?
Mpumalanga here, Durban, Cape Town here. It's like I've left out some of the boring places, but I think I've pretty much covered it.
Yeah, that's good.
So, yeah, like planes, it was pretty easy. And I've got to say, I flew with Lyft, which is a great airline.
No drama there.
No drama. We'll talk about some drama on another plane just in a minute. But it's just, I've figured out, like, I've got all the little tricks. I know where to go in the airport to speed things up. I know how to cut down on time wasted.
Okay.
I know if I've got to eat something, where I must go. If I don't, where I don't have to be around. It's like quick. But that comes with what? Like 15 years of doing.
You need to
every
share that
weekend.
knowledge with some of us who are
Hell
amateurs.
no. Then otherwise you're all going to start doing it. then it's no. I'm happy to. I'm happy to. In fact, when next time I do a flight anywhere, I'll make a little video and we can
Please.
put it together. Yeah. It'll be quick. It'll be quick and easy. So that was cool. Durban and Cape Town, way warmer than here.
Ooh,
Joburg is like a fridge.
it's cold. I hate
Yes,
the
I woke up this
cold.
morning.
It's cold.
And I had my geyser and a timer, okay, because there's these fancy things they installed a while ago. Mm-hmm. And the guy who installed them is like, no, you only need to put your geyser on for like an hour or two a day, which I thought was okay, great, because who doesn't want to save power, right? And save money by not wasting power.
I mean, come on now.
You know? So anyway, I've switched on these timers. But now, because it's so cold,
It has to be on longer.
but it also has to be on at a different time because it used to be on during the day so that then it can, get nice and warm and at night. Who's going to be showering at 2 a.m? But we wake up at 4 in the morning. So you want some hot water left over. So I've had to change all of that shit over. These are the exciting things of my life now. I mean, it used to be that I was going to this party and I was doing that. And look, I don't wish for that again. But the exciting thing for me is I think I've got the timer on the geyser right.
You
So
are
now-
a true adult now.
Yeah. I'm so adulting. It's boring. Now I'm thrilled with things like that.
Okay.
If you tell me, I've got this like hack for you to be able to, cool down something, make something work properly, move a plug, change this. I'm like, oh wow, that's amazing. That's the stuff I love, right? I've always loved it, so I'm not going to pretend that I wasn't always interested in that shit. But now, thanks to the internet, you can find
Everything.
like, yeah. I think maybe in a previous life I was some kind of fucking housewife or something because it gives me such a thrill when something that I've worked on at home, and it's not like housewifey things, but I like it when things at home work.
Yes.
When things are in their right place and everything
yes.
has a place and all that kind of thing. So I was rewiring some things the other day because I can do basic electric stuff,
That's good.
moving some lights around and shit, which is cool. And then when you press the button and it works, you're like, yes. It's just way better
That's
than...
me in bedding.
Oh, you like that with bedding?
Yes. Like when you buy new bedding and then you put the new cover on with the pillows and it looks also smart and you're just like, oh yes.
And you can't wait to get in there. And then
I
when
know,
you do,
right?
you lie in there for a little bit. You go, this feels nice. This is excellent.
Yes.
Yeah, this is
and then you're
excellent.
just like, okay, I can relax now. So yes, I
Well,
totally get what you mean.
Now 3/4 of the people who listen to the show are like, what the fuck happened to this show? Now Gareth has become a geezer, says Joe Beggar. Geezer talk with Gareth Cliff. That's Migs. Dirk says that it seems like we'll have another dark winter with some load shedding. Oh, I noticed.
Yeah.
They just can't make it happen, hey? They just can't.
punishment.
Anyway,
man.
Cyril's going to the headmaster's office on Wednesday next week. Did you hear about this?
Yes, I did. And it seems like Juju's
Mr.
trying to do a whole
Cyril.
shutdown.
Hey, Mr. Cyril, I just want to tell you you're doing some very bad things. I've got to tell you. I mean, I can't wait to see what happens. I hope he televises it live like they did the Zelensky one. Can you imagine?
That lecture that Cyril's going to get.
we all in this country, everyone in South Africa is like, yeah, he needs a lecture. Because this guy, our president, Cyril Ramaphosa, Cupcake. What is he doing? Name something he's involved with that's working right now. Name some project. Remember he was going to build that city, that super futuristic city out near Lanseria or something. What's happened? Where are any improvements that you can point to? Just give me like 3. That's not too much to ask. I mean, by contrast, since we're talking about him, Trump was in the Middle East this week, right? He went to Saudi Arabia. He's brought back billions in international deals. Some of them are arms deals, some of them are security deals, some of them are technology deals. The U.S. had a very successful trip to Saudi Arabia, by all accounts.
Yeah.
This will be an extraordinary stimulant to their economy. It will improve relations between them and the Saudis. It may even click into action a new version of the Abraham Accords. Trump and Mohammed bin Salman were like bromancing the hell out of each other. And that's in 1 week. Now, tell me what Cyril's done in a year. Just one thing. I mean, apart from all the cuck legislation that he's signed into law that is going to have a massive detrimental effect on the country. Like, name a good thing that's happening that we can feel the tangible results of right now. I'll wait. Actually, I can't because the show won't end. I'll still be waiting, and we'll be in 2028. There's nothing. So he's going to Trump on Wednesday. A lot of people very excited about that. I don't think too much is going to happen, to be honest. Because, a guy like Cyril, he walks in, smiles, and schmoozes, and that may work with some people. I don't know whether it'll work with Trump. But then he'll come back here and just carry on as usual.
It'll be interesting to see if Elon's going to be in the room.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I wonder. Because that Starlink thing is such a perfect example of why BE is bullshit, right?
Yeah, and he does have a bit of a grudge against South Africa. So
and I think
it would be very interesting to see how that conversation goes with Elon over there. And also just to see how Cupcake handles himself in terms of like being held accountable.
Well, he gets away with a lot here because nobody really challenges him.
Yeah.
Nobody here actually
hell.
gives him. I mean, it might happen behind closed doors in the ANC for all we know.
I doubt it.
But he doesn't seem like the guy who gets challenged very often. So he just smiles and shakes hands and laughs. He always laughs. like he's buddy with everyone. You saw that one clip where I think it was the Minister of Electricity, Ramaphosa, Khonsienso Ramaphosa, Cyril told some joke and then he starts laughing. But like over the top laughing.
Yeah, I saw that clip.
Remember that?
It was a bit too much.
Oh
Like, what's
God.
going on
Just
here?
over the top, like trying so hard. Here's our servant, James, who's
Thank
brought you
you.
some... Thank you, James.
How things have changed.
Thank you, yeah.
Oh, look at this.
See, we're definitely over apartheid. James is the servant now. Rightly so. Cyril must have found his iPad. That's an achievement for him, says Bitcoin Boot. That's probably a good one. Cyril said he'd rather die on his sword for the ANC. Any prosecutions from the Zondo Commission that cater is catering. Yeah, we haven't seen any of that, JP, so that's a good point. It is the weekend, baby. Oh, Elmarie, that is such fine language. I do appreciate it. Weekend, baby. It is the weekend, baby. She says, nice to see Sims again. And my favorite GC, Trump as a master. Well, we'll see. I mean, the jury's still out. Like, he's done 100 and something days.
Yeah, and he's gone all over the place, eh? Like with the tariffs.
No, he's moving. He's moving. Oh, by the way, on the tariffs, I saw India, a fairly large player in the world economy, India, has said zero tariffs. It's a major victory for Trump and for India, I think, because trade relations between those two countries are already pretty good. They can only get better.
Yeah.
And with no tariffs, India is getting what other countries who haven't done that yet would perceive as preferential treatment.
Yeah.
But, you snooze, you lose with a guy like Trump.
Yeah.
They should land another flight with refugees on the day Cyril arrives. That's a very funny idea, and then bring them to the White House. By the way, I just want to talk about that for a second because I have a lot of people, for some reason, asking me about this as if it should be on my agenda and I should be thinking about it all the time. So I have always said that a lot of refugees are losers. Not all. A lot of refugees are losers. And let me explain myself before anybody loses their mind and steam comes out of their fucking ears. If you're running away to another country, it's either because you are in absolute peril and someone's coming to kill you right now. There is a genocide or there is some kind of absolutely abominable stuff that's happening to you and you're being targeted because of your ethnicity, your skin color, your religion, your language, your culture, whatever.
Terrible things.
Bad, very bad things. Okay, so I have always looked at refugees as being people that aren't the problem of the country they're going to, but they become the problem of that country. Because the politicians in that country or the people of that country, out of the kindness of their hearts, decide, we'll open up our borders and let these people in. They're having a tough time. Okay. In South Africa, we are already in the position that people are talking about the United States being in for a lot of Zimbabweans, Malawians, Mozambicans, Congolese, Tanzanians, Ugandans. There are lots of people in South Africa who are actually technically refugees, Somalis. They're all over the country. And a lot of these people are not actual refugees because it's a legal status that is given to you by the governing bodies in that country. The Home Affairs Department in South Africa would be that organization. And a lot of the people in this country who are supposedly refugees are actually just illegal immigrants.
Yes.
They've just come across the border without any papers, any permissions, and they're in South Africa because their own country's even worse than us. Okay? Fine. That's how it works. Whether you like it or not, that's happening. It shouldn't be, but it's happening. We have a government that can't control our borders. Now, the Afrikaners in South Africa have legitimate gripes about this country. There's no genocide. I don't think a lot of people are claiming that there's an outright genocide. Because, it's not like the government are rounding up Afrikaners and putting them up against the wall and shooting them. There are definitely legitimate complaints that Afrikaans people in this country have. There are no events. I saw Paul Mashatile at the Travel in Daba, which I was at on Wednesday. I didn't see him myself, but I saw him speaking on the news. There's no genocide. Genocide isn't an event. It isn't a thing that happens once, It's a thing that progresses in stages. And there are people who will argue that things that are happening in this country may be various stages of a genocide. I'm not arguing that. What I'm arguing is that there are very, very serious problems that white Afrikaners, white people, colored people, Indian people, black people have with this government. But in the case of the white farmers who are seeking refugee status or who Trump has given refugee status to, I wish them well. I have no ill will towards them. They don't feel at home here anymore. They feel like they are up against the wall. They don't feel that they have any possibility for their children to achieve success here, whatever the case may be. So they're going to give it a try in America. It's no different to anyone who would try to go and live in any country for any reason before this. And I used to be one of those people who had a problem with that. I used to be one of those people who said, oh, I don't know if you should leave the country of your birth, blah, blah, blah. You do whatever you want. And if refugee status helps you to get there, go with my blessing. I'm not particularly interested in, I wouldn't be a refugee. I wouldn't accept refugee status. I wouldn't want to move. But that's not my decision when it comes to you. You can do whatever you want. Now, it goes without saying that things like BEE, which we just mentioned a couple of minutes ago, are disastrous failures, that this country has been run extremely badly by the government, especially in the last 10 to 15 years, that no one in South Africa is happy. 80% of South Africans are actually against BEE. Now, you could take the white people out of that. That's still 70-odd% of the remaining people who don't like BEE. So this is something we all as a country are not very much in favor of because we've seen what happens, right? It all goes to ANC politicians and their friends and family. And those people get essentially free money for doing nothing. So this must be ended. But the government is going to put the foot to the pedal on this one. They're going to keep trying because We just didn't do it right. We've got to do it more, and we've got to do it harder. Now, there are obviously people downstream from that who get affected. And we know farming is a very, very difficult business. It's become a technological business. It's become something that you have to do at scale. It's a hard thing to do. Yeah. And there are very few people in the world who can successfully farm at scale. And Afrikaans people in South Africa seem to be among the best in the world. I'd put them up there with the Dutch, who are able to take a little country like Holland and produce just incredible amounts of agricultural success. So we should look after these people. We shouldn't be othering them. And I had a conversation with a friend of mine the other day who's a big fan of Cyril's. Don't ask me. I've tried to figure it out. I don't know how. And I said to him, if the government had just done a little bit of work to not make Afrikaans white people who felt like they were being just kind of ignored, because for a long time they have been. If they just made a little bit of effort with those people would have put their shoulders to the grindstone and would have done whatever it took for this country. They're not the kind of people who just give up and leave. And it was 50-something people who left, right?
Yeah,
it's what,
but
not even
don't
a
you
full
think
plane.
The people that left, in your words, are like actual nobodies. I don't think farmers have left.
No, I don't
all.
think so. No.
So I feel like Brakpan has gotten a bit lighter.
But sure, Brakpan, these are probably, look,
yeah.
Let me be unkind for a second and suggest that these are not people who are going to make a massive contribution to the American economy.
Yeah.
Okay? I think you have to be kind of desperate to decide, I'm going to take refugee status.
True.
Maybe you don't have a whole lot going on. I don't know. But it is a difficult thing for the farmers that we do have to know that the government, for some capricious reason, like national interest, which could mean anything. It could mean Cyril's son needs to try his hand at mealies. You know, the national interest is a very vague excuse for them to just take anything. And it's not just farmers. We should all be concerned that the government feels it needs to enact laws to take anything of yours, intellectual property, your clothes, your suitcase, your house, your car.
They feel very entitled, eh?
Very entitled. And that is completely unacceptable. So I hope what happens on Wednesday, and I haven't got delusions about the fact that Cyril's going to go there and, you know, he's going to come back a different man. I think Cyril's going to go there. He's going to try and stand up for himself and for this government.
Yes.
He's going to try to explain things to Donald Trump. Maybe Donald Trump already knows these things because, you know, I don't doubt that all of our devices have NSA, National Security Agency backdoors, and that the American intelligence services can read every WhatsApp I've ever written. I don't doubt that, and I think the ANC probably don't know that, but they've all their messages are on there. And there are probably things that Trump knows that Cyril doesn't know he knows.
Yeah.
And that he'll say, what is this bullshit? And then Cyril won't be able to talk his way out of some of those things.
He actually might even ask for money because that's what he does a lot.
He loves to ask for money. And if he does, then Trump will say, fine, you can have some money, but here's what you're going to do.
Yeah.
So there could be all kinds of things that come out of it that could be very positive for us. And by us, I mean the ordinary people of South Africa who are up to here with the ANC. We didn't even give them 50% in the last election. We gave them way lower than that. People in this country are up to here with those people in the ANC. They've fucked it up so badly, right? And it's not as if the other political parties are going to help because they're all pretty awful as well. So if there is a way,
on those guys.
if there's a way that the U.S., this current administration in the U.S. can do anything at all to make the lives of all of us average South Africans a little bit better, we should be thrilled that finally the ANC will be held to account by something greater than the politics of South Africa. That there'll be someone who says, okay, I can tell you guys just want money. So here's how it works, and we'll give you some money for the country, but this is what you got to do. Because they aren't making good decisions on their own. So it's like, you know, if a kid keeps coming to school and they never do their homework, you eventually have to say to the parents, listen, is there a problem? And if you bring the parents in and you talk to the parents and you sort the problem out and the kid starts doing his homework and his results get better and he looks like he's having a much happier time at school, everybody's thrilled. If that is what we get out of this, even in one area, like let's say, for example, our trade relations with the US pick up and we're able to do more business with American companies. Great.
Yes.
Create some jobs.
Please, that's
Great.
what we need.
Right?
That's what we actually need.
Maybe they can help us with stuff like that. Maybe we can help them in some way too, because we don't expect everything for nothing. We're not one of these countries that just wants, why you never give me, right? So let's see what we can do together. That's what I hope. I don't have unrealistic expectations, but let's see. Dirk says the visit's going to be super entertaining. Trump will put him on his ass quickly if Cyril tries to lecture him. Well, I don't think Cyril is the kind of guy who lectures anybody. He's like a bit wheedling. He'll like, he's going to like try to, ingratiate himself.
Yes.
That's what he does.
With a very warm smile.
Sure, he's
and
good
he'll
at
be
that.
like, I listen to you.
Sure.
My time now. Hear me out. And then give a sob story of like where ANC all started.
Yeah.
You know what I
100
mean?
years of the
100
ANC,
years of struggle,
Yeah.
fighting
Stuff
for
that
the people, Amandla,
Right.
all that nonsense. And then
And let
by
me
the
tell
time
you-
he gets to the issue, Trump is like, oh.
No, I don't think he even
Okay.
will. I think Trump would say, and most people in the world would say at this point, and I'm sorry, South Africa, this is the truth, right? I'm a student of history. I love history. I would tell our South African story to anyone who would listen because I think it's a great story, especially around 94.
Yeah.
Before then, awful. After then,
Not so
so great either. But the rest of the world don't care anymore, with the exception of a few white liberals at US universities. No one gives a shit about our story anymore. Really, I'm afraid that one has run its race. It's over. No one's that interested in hearing about, Robben Island and the struggle and racial segregation. They just don't. They've got their own problems. The whole world has moved on. That story is now, the best part of our story was 30 years ago. And I'm terribly sorry. Whether you want to hear this or not, the rest of the world doesn't care. They've got lots of other things happening. There are constantly, all over the world, things that deserve attention. And our story from 30 years ago just doesn't cut it anymore. So we've got to get over that as well. I don't think Trump would sit there and listen to Cyril talking about that for an hour. I don't think he needs to hear it.
What if we cut some halfway? Like, we're not
imagine.
here for that.
I'm not here for that. Yeah, imagine. All right, so let's talk about some other things. It is the weekend, baby. Here comes some other stuff. I live on a small holding. 2 years ago, there's a massive land grab pushed by the EFF, only one from my house. Wow. Crime skyrocketed, murders took place. I understand these people. I've been to the US. Sure. That's why I say, if you want to go, you must go. I don't agree that we should be chasing people out just because we disagree with them. But if you make the decision, like, non-refugee immigration, you might make that decision too. I'll support you. It's your call. All right, let's just look here. South Africa only goes from one sports event to the other. Well, that's kind of true too. Hey, James, you got some sport for us, by the way? Yeah, because we don't have Ben this morning.
Ooh.
I didn't think about Ben until now.
Please don't watch this, Ben.
No, he's going to be so pissed off. Sorry, I completely forgot Ben is not here this morning, just in case you didn't notice, like I didn't.
Oh.
We need another tutu and a new story of unity. When's rugby starting? Well,
Soon, guys.
that's pathetic.
Soon.
Yeah, but that's pathetic. You're going to rely on rugby and Desmond Tutu to have a story.
Okay, whoa, Gareth. You see, I might not be a sports person, but what the Springboks have done for what they do for the South African nation. Come on
Cynthia,
now. Come on
I'm
now.
sure that there are people who are jumping up and down saying yes right now and agreeing with you. I have never felt that way about
In
rugby.
fact, what? Here's a great story that Cyril should tell Trump, right? Of how, the Springbok, it went from like this whole like white team, apartheid team.
Look at how we're getting transformation.
And how now it's transformed into
Look at transformation.
a winning team, back-to-back world champions. Come on now. The greatest champion is a black man.
Then maybe
This
what
is
he
a
should do.
story of
Maybe what he
victory.
should do is send Rassie Erasmus to do the meeting for him.
You see, he must talk about the Springboks.
All
And
right.
I
Maybe
get
it's not a bad
excited.
idea. I don't know whether Trump gives a shit about rugby, but I certainly don't. I will pretend, though, for the next few minutes because James is here and he's got some sport. Hello, James.
Hello, producer
All right, so
James.
here is our producer, James, who also is our sports guy for this morning. So, all right, that was just do that thumbs up again.
He's so
That looks like a meme. Okay, what do we got?
Quite a lot of sports.
Let's
Speaking
start with
of-
something you care about, football.
It's my guy.
How's
So,
Liverpool doing?
They won the Premier League. Vibes are
Okay.
immaculate. People in Liverpool are living their best lives for the first time in 5 years again because we won another Premier League. Life is good.
Okay.
Life is not good, however, for Arsenal,
Oh.
who didn't win the Premier League. I just had to throw that out there on behalf of Ben. They are playing this weekend. Arsenal are playing Newcastle United at 1:30 on Sunday. And then on Friday, which is tonight, Chelsea, Man United, they take on each other. And then Aston Villa play Tottenham. There's also an FA Cup final this weekend.
Oh.
With
Who's in the final?
Manchester City,
Oh.
Crystal Palace. I know you know so much about sports.
Crystal Palace is her third favorite team.
Exactly. Aren't you so excited to see them?
Imperial is very into Crystal
Let's
Palace
go,
as
boys!
her number 3 team. Yeah. After, what was your first one? Is Accrington Stanley.
Of course.
And your second favorite is Scunthorpe United.
Let's go. You gotta always
So,
vote for
Crystal
the
Palace
underdogs. You
coming
know what I
in-
mean?
Crystal Palace coming in third. That's very good.
I do want to be the bearer of bad news and tell you that Crystal Palace probably won't win this one.
Oh. Oh, damn.
So yeah, just to rip the band-aid off, they probably won't
Are
win.
you done now with sports?
Almost. So yeah, that's Manchester City, Crystal Palace this weekend, FA Cup final. There was also champions crowned last night in La Liga. Barcelona took the La Liga title.
Mo Rabbit says James's sport will drive more people to apply for refugee status.
So not nice. That's not nice.
And Meg says, I tune out for the refreshments when James
That's
is
fair.
sported.
Guys,
Shame,
what do I
James.
sit
You're
here?
getting a lot of...
I'm just
you
going
know,
to close the laptop
I have
and
to
not
say,
do it.
anytime anything goes wrong with this show,
Producer James.
it's always James.
Blame it
Flex
on
never
James.
gets the blame, but look, it isn't really Flex's fault, so I understand that.
Thick skin and stuff.
And then when you come here to do the sport, they just want to
Is that
pile
it?
into
Is
the
that all
laptop's
sport?
closed. I stopped doing the sport.
I was gonna
Are you
ask about
stopping?
Yeah, this is
No,
where
no,
we
no,
are.
no, no, no.
Keep going. Keep going. I want to
James,
hear about the
You know what?
rugby.
You don't give up just because there are some naysayers among the crowd.
Yeah, I want to hear the sports. Okay,
What sport do you want to hear?
rugby.
Is there any going on at the moment?
There is this weekend. The Bulls are playing. I got invited to the Bulls game this weekend at Loftus.
Loftus.
At
Are you gonna go?
Loftus. I are.
You are.
Are you going to Loftus? Have you got your refugee status?
I is going to Pretoria.
Okay.
The Bulls are taking on the Dragons this weekend.
Jesus,
in
who the
URC.
fuck are they?
Yeah, that's my answer to that.
Yeah,
question.
You
wow.
also don't know them.
I don't know rugby very
Dragons.
well. Football's my thing.
Oh.
I know rugby as well as I know croqueting.
Oh. Okay. Anything else?
There's Formula One this weekend. That's more exciting.
Where?
In Italy, it's Lewis Hamilton's first home Grand Prix with Ferrari.
Dragons RFC are one of 4 professional rugby union regional teams in Wales. They've been owned by Dragons RFC Limited since 2023.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
With the dragon and the Welsh thing going on that they've got. Okay, so they're playing a Welsh team this weekend at Loftus. They're called the Dragons, guys, and they're from Wales.
Yeah, I want to know. And again, James, you come in under a lot of pressure every time
I do.
you do anything on the show. But I'd like to know if there's anyone who wouldn't find AI or Google better for doing the sport than James. I don't know why we put you through this, because I'm fairly sure ChatGPT could give me a decent enough summary, and we wouldn't have to interrupt the conversations. You know?
You're not wrong. Maybe we develop an actual talking
Are you and
chatbot.
Flex still doing your gym together?
We
Doing that
are.
again this weekend.
We went last night, actually.
Oh, last
Ooh.
night.
You guys spend a lot of time together.
Well,
we live very close to together.
but hang on. This is an impressive show of stamina and I suppose you could call it fortitude, because to go on a cold winter's night is not fun.
Shout out to you.
No,
Okay.
it's not.
good.
The one saving winning grace at a gym in winter is a sauna. That's what I
and
do.
it's
I don't
Oh,
have
do
a
you
cat.
need a sauna hat
No.
now?
No.
I have a sauna hat for you and for Flex. I think you should wear them. I've got. I
guys
swear,
should be
I've got them. I've got you
twinning.
both a sauna hat. I think you should go and wear the sauna hat.
A very naked man got into the sauna last
They
night.
kind of. That's where they
That's
are.
the thing.
do.
Like that's
No?
the
No,
vibe,
but can
isn't
we
it?
not wear like a speedo or like
No.
underwear
Some
or
people have
something?
no shame. It's
gross.
They actually want to display all the goods. And
Sometimes
the weird
you don't
thing
need
is,
to.
it's usually like old guys who I'm sorry, but there's a certain age that guys get to. Simpiwe, you're laughing already.
But you know why I'm laughing? Because you're gonna approach that age. Don't talk
I
about these
know.
guys
Okay.
like, oh.
Yeah, but I won't be running around with my tackle out like they do. Okay.
Don't say that
So
now.
here's the
you
thing.
say that now. You
No.
never know.
What happens to a lot of these guys? Their asses just like fall away, right? That's the first thing that happens. The ass falls away. So it almost becomes, that's a horrible thing to describe, almost as like 2 bags of sand. They just don't have, that's just bad, all right? And then they've got a bit of a gut in front, which is never great either. And they insist on showing off all the rest with their long, saggy balls. And it's just a horrible, ugly thing that no human being needs to be privy to. But these are the guys who walk around with nothing on.
They absolutely do. With their chest out, they walk to the sauna at the other side of the bathroom.
And then they
with
sit
nothing
there.
on.
They don't even take a towel sometimes. They just sit there on those benches with their sweaty asses and balls hanging out for everybody to have to look at. And then they want to talk to you.
Yep, that's the worst
Like,
part.
hey, aren't you Flex? Aren't you James from that show?
All I say.
You're like, shit,
Don't judge them.
I need refugee status.
Your age is coming until you get to that age. Don't judge them.
Yeah, why do you think we're going to the gym? We don't want to get there in a hurry. Yeah, laugh it up. Yeah, okay, so for anybody who's very interested in this, so tomorrow Bulls Dragons and Stormers Dragons.
On the same day?
They can't be doing that the same day. No, Saturday. Tomorrow is Friday. No, today's Friday.
Today's
what the
Friday.
fuck is this?
Wait, what's going on with you, Karen?
Are you sure?
See what happens when I try to do the sport. You thought James was bad. See, James, this is all part of my plan to show how you're not so bad.
I got you.
Yeah.
Stormers are playing Cardiff.
Yes, sorry. Cardiff.
today at
I can't
7.
read this thing properly. This is like those complicated, those brackets that they play on those sports shows? You're laughing it up. You know those brackets they play where you have championships and then they get to new I never know how those things work.
This is just the blind
All right,
leading
go
the blind
again.
this
Try
morning.
again.
Okay, URC. Stormers are playing Cardiff tonight, 7 o'clock. Edinburgh, Ulster tonight, also Hopper State. Bulls, Dragons tomorrow, Loftus, 3 o'clock. Lions, Ospreys tomorrow, 5:15. And Sharks, Scarlets tomorrow at Hopper 7.
Thank God.
Nailed
An
it.
elephant. Karen says it's an elephant's backside. The sauna guys. A frog bum, says Lizette. Yeah, that's the one. At least you know where not to sit after they've left. Yeah, because they leave an imprint. They do. They leave an
Guys,
imprint.
go through it.
That's bad, Simpiwe. We suffer in the trenches.
And then, can I tell you something else? You think you've made it through the worst, right?
Yeah.
You're out of the sauna, getting dressed, life is fine. You don't have to look at anybody's thing anymore, it's fine.
Yeah.
Until the same gut guy comes from the sauna and stands next to you. And then he puts his leg up on the bed.
And dries right in the dark
In your
places.
Do you guys need therapy?
No, it's bad, Simpiwe. And don't pretend like crazy shit doesn't happen in the women's locker. I remember talking to Tumi Morake about this once, and she said to me, those women in the change room at the gym she used to go to, they would take their hairdryer and dry their nether regions.
Oh, no. Like, I laugh because...
Oh my!
You hear the hairdryer going, wee, and you look, and there's some lady with her fanny being dried out by the fucking hairdryer.
There's a lot that goes on in that bathroom. Let me tell you now. Okay, as someone who is very much going to gym most of last year, will return very soon again. the ladies have no shame. You'll get somebody who is shaving. It's a Saturday morning. You've just finished a class. You're going in to take a shower, and someone's out there like taking a proper shave, and you're like,
of that area.
The armpits, the downstairs, and you're wondering, man, can't you do this at home? Like,
What, at the basin?
Yeah.
So is the hair just falling on the ground?
No, the basin's quite big, so they're quite.
Oh, she's leaning over
yes.
it with the armpits.
Yes, and you're just like, surely you can do this at home, ma'am. And then like people will do even their wigs, their wig installs. They get a full face beat.
Yes.
I laugh because this is funny. But
It's the decorum, guys.
That's great. I didn't know that.
And then what's funny is as she's like doing that, you'll pass by and they'll be like, I haven't seen you. How are you doing? And you're like, I'm good.
Let's
thank
talk
you.
after you've shaved your beaver.
Yeah, I'm good. They're like, you should do the 6 o'clock class. I do the 6 o'clock class. I do the 8 o'clock class. You can do it. You're much younger. And I'm
You know
like,
what?
ma'am.
There could be someone listening to us for the first time today who was thinking of going to gym for the first time too.
Do it.
And they're like, I don't want to go anymore. And I
No,
wouldn't blame
go
you.
to
Doesn't
gym.
sound inviting.
No, go to gym. You need it. You've been eating too much. It's winter.
Yeah.
Summer bodies are made in winter. Go to gym. Okay.
Sure. And listen, this is coming from somebody who really got into it. You did. I
Yes.
remember you were posting like fucking workout videos and shit.
Yes.
You're like a fitness influencer at some stage.
Yes, and I'm all about like, go do it. Go do it. Go do it. Go do it.
Congo Chris says, and then after the steam room or the sauna, then the whole body must be covered from head to toe in Ingram's camphor cream. That's also true. The guys moisturize after gym, right? Yo.
At least you guys moisturize. Shout out to that.
Esh says, Dave, taking advantage of that membership fee. Hey, some people, maybe their bathroom at home is terrible. And you could tell because they're like, I'm going to use the hot water. I'm going to shave my head in the basin. I'm gonna trim the beaver hairs.
Where's the line though? Like, beaver hairs at the gym, guys.
Hey, you know what, James?
They're
So
getting
who am I?
dressed.
Who am I to?
They're getting
don't-
dressed. That's the thing. And then they're like, oh, because I once asked somebody, I was like, hey, ma'am,
Great
what's the
discussion
story
for a
here?
Friday.
And then she was like, oh, no, I'm going somewhere after gym. So this
go
is the
and visit
only
her.
time I can
Visit
do
her
this.
lover.
Yeah, you
right?
are.
Yeah, so I was like, hey, shut out. You worked out. Now you clean. You're making sure everything is clean. And then now you're going to go do your business after gym.
Hey, I'm not gonna tell you.
Trimming the beeve. If you find a stray hair on the basin at the gym,
Oh no.
you never know where it's come from.
Sure.
Could be from anywhere. You only used to have to encounter that. By the way, have you seen the sign in our bathrooms here?
No. Which
There's a sign in the toilets that I only noticed the other day that says, please clean up after yourself, have respect for your colleagues, blah, 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 right? The regular
Okay.
stuff. And then it says something about like stray hairs. I'm like,
Eben.
what happened to make that part of the rules?
I'm looking at you guys side eye.
Stray hairs. Well, now, I mean, I'm just so excited for my next trip to the locker rooms. It's going to be
too.
wonderful. All right, everybody.
Quite scarring.
Thank you very much.
that was sport.
Thank you, James.
Have a great one.
Very good. And Loftus tickets for the Bok match on sale from later today. That's for the Bok match, not for this weekend's match. All right, very good.
Sold out.
Very good. Thank you, James. And James and Flex are ready to take your messages too. So if you want to discuss anything with them, you are welcome to. Right? That's what they. I know what kind of messages you're thinking of sending them. There they are. They're ready to hear from you. Right, Sims?
Yeah, they are.
They're ready for, I don't know, compliments. Maybe you want to say nice things. Yeah. Instead of
Questions.
just like non-stop abuse. That would be great. Yeah, what the fuck's wrong with you, James? That's that's it. Okay, let's get into one or two things. I mentioned flying earlier, Sims. So I was on 3 flights in 3 days. And local flights are easy enough because you hop on. Before you know it, you're at your destination. I don't really care about economy or middle seat, aisle seat, window seat. Obviously, it's nicer to not be in the middle,
Yes.
but it's not going to kill you.
Yeah.
The longest of those flights is 2 hours to Cape Town. You'll be fine. Everything will be all right. Doesn't matter what the meal is. Doesn't matter what the flight attendant looks like. Doesn't matter who's sitting next to you. It really doesn't. It's only an hour or two of your life. You'll be okay.
I agree.
You're not going to die. You don't need to apply for refugee status in the US just because you have a local flight. But, and this is a particularly irritating story. So apparently there was a passenger outburst.
Oh, no.
Because this can really ruin a lot of people's day. Because someone has an issue and they decide to make that issue everyone else's problem. Okay, let me explain. On a Sapphire flight from Joburg to Cape Town, they were unexpectedly diverted to Bloemfontein, somewhere no one wants to go if you're expecting Cape Town. And that was because a passenger caused chaos mid-air over a dispute about a bottle of water and incorrect change. The situation escalated to the point where security-savvy passengers and the crew had to restrain this disruptive individual. Fly Sapphire spokesperson Kirby Gordon confirmed that the passenger has been placed on a no-fly list and was issued an invoice for the costs of the diversion, with possible criminal charges still under consideration.
Oh, this is serious.
Well, yes, you have to behave on planes. Now, I'd love to know. I'd love to hear the person's side of the story, just out of sheer morbid curiosity, and I'm sure you would too. Because if this is about a bottle of water and some change, is this your hill to die on? What a stupid thing to create just pandemonium. Forget about yourself. You're not going to be able to fly again. No airline will let you fly anywhere again. Think about that, right? You're going to have to drive next time you go to Cape Town. Maybe you're the kind of person who's on a plane every other day for Cape Town. Now you have to drive. You're not going to be allowed onto planes. You're also going to be invoiced. It's going to be expensive for all the fuel and for the diversion, which could be hundreds of thousands of rands, if not millions. And you may even be prosecuted criminally, which could have all kinds of other consequences for you. Now, you have to be a particularly out of touch with reality, governed by your emotions sort of character to allow this to happen to you on a plane, to allow it to escalate to the point where other passengers have to restrain you. And then, I just want to say, I feel the worst for all the other people who had nothing to do with this.
Yes.
Imagine you're going to go and visit someone
Yo.
in Cape Town, or you're on a business trip, and you just want to get there. Like I said just now, it doesn't really matter because mostly you'll be fine. 2 hours, it's good. But when a third or fourth hour is added, and you suddenly find yourself in Bloemfontein, and maybe the other plane that they're sending you is another hour or two, so it ends up being your whole day.
What an inconvenience.
Because of one guy who couldn't behave himself. And I'm fairly sure it's a guy. The last one we had was that woman who worked for the SABC.
Oh yeah, she's going around doing interviews, and I'm so bored. Like,
who cares about her story? We saw from your. We don't need to know your story. Your behavior is all we needed to see. Now I hope someone filmed this guy, or girl. Might be a girl. I hope someone filmed them, because this person is an example of someone who was raised by wolves. No matter how cross you get, and I've been cross before, Sims has been cross, I'm sure you have too. There is never an excuse for you to inconvenience a plane with 200 odd passengers on it just because you wanted change for a bottle of water, or you think you were ripped off by 50 cents or 5 rand or whatever. I mean, what kind of instinctive, savage stupidity takes over your mind that you're willing to give up on freedom, on the right to fly ever again? How does your brain override all of that just so you can have a tantrum?
I think it's not the bottle of water. I think there's a much more deeper issue, or something had happened prior, and then they chose this moment to be triggered for some. Because it can't, water? Really? Or and also the change, is it 5 rand, 10 rand? Like, are we talking so I'd like to think this is not about the water. You're something happening in your life, like maybe 2 days prior, a day.
Yeah,
I'd like to think something happened.
Again,
And maybe,
whatever happened in your life, it is not fair of you to make that 200 other passengers and the crew's problem.
No, that's true. But I'd like to think maybe that was the cause. You know how some people, they'll like keep quiet now and then like 2 hours later, they have this outburst and you're like, where does this come from? You know? So I'd like to think maybe that was the reason. But still,
I'll be willing to bet that there would have probably been someone on that plane who was flying to Cape Town because a relative had died. That's not inconceivable. There are lots of people who, you know, you hear bad news, you have to hop on that person had to watch this other person going crazy on the plane and have their whole day disrupted. Or someone who had really important business to do. Or someone whose kid was graduating. Or someone who was, you know, they would have missed it.
Yeah.
Just think about all the 200 and something lives that you affected by your irrational, stupid, bad behavior. Like we need to know who this person is so that we can avoid this person in every other aspect of life. I know they'll be punished, and that's necessary. And they need to feel the pain of behaving so stupidly in front of everybody and embarrassing the whole country, let alone putting people out. I just think we need to know who this person is. And every time this stuff happens, because we live in an age of cell phones, we should all be able to figure out who we can avoid.
Yeah.
You need to know who you could avoid. I wouldn't want to be on that plane. I was so happy when everything just worked.
Yes.
We were there, plane flew on time, we landed on time.
Sure.
It was just good. You know, these kinds of things happen more often than we think, and you are not allowed to make your problems. However, whatever terrible shit was happening in this person's life, you are not allowed to make your problems everyone else's. It's just not fair. All right. I bet he's on a vegan diet. They go off the rails pretty often, says Dirk. X is so bad. I peep to see what's happening, but too much X can turn a dog into a mongrel. Yeah? Listen, you got to control your intake of all of that stuff.
Yeah, hey. Like, yeah.
Some people really love their sparkling water. Mapelo says, imagine flying for a 10 Rand change. Fighting for a 10 Rand change, and then you end up with a flight diversion bill worth thousands, hundreds of thousands.
Also,
millions.
that's what I need to know. What was the change? How much was the change for you to be so mad and kind of lose your bollocks? And come on now. Come on. Are you sure? Like, yeah, hey.
Congo Chris says, yes, the diversion to Bloemfontein isn't great, but what could be worse is if they're diverted to PE. Okay. Just takes one lunatic to bring down a plane, must be banned from ever flying again. I think he has been.
Yeah, please. Please, yo.
He was screaming, I need to go to Durban on a flight from Josie to Cape Town. That's Congo Chris. Yeah.
Sure.
The security savvy guy that you mentioned was probably some sort of air marshal that we didn't even know we have on flights. They do have those. They sometimes have plainclothes air marshals.
Oh.
In America, it's a regular thing. That their whole job is, in case something happens, they have a seat somewhere and they just get up and deal with the problem.
I like that.
I like that too.
We need more of those just in society.
Yeah, because
in general.
people are just raised very badly.
Yes.
You know?
That is true.
They don't know how to behave.
That is very true. And it's a pity that we can't lay hands on other people's kids. So we need other people to do the job now and just like do what we can't do on behalf of the rest of society, because some people are actually assholes and we don't need you.
Someone, Bitcoin Bot says, sorry I'm late. Some puss wanted the right change for his water mid-flight. That's what it is. I mean, what a stupid story. How embarrassing.
Yes.
The change was short too, Bob, says Viasen. At very most, it could have been 180 change. Our biggest note is 200. Yeah, exactly. So,
but still, like, this is something you can cry about once you've landed. Like, even if you try to justify anything.
I don't think you should serve any food on. I just don't think it's necessary.
Yeah, especially for like a 2-hour flight. Yes,
it's not necessary. And it's like a big trolley full of stuff. People have to exchange money. They have to bring out their cards. It's just like this is unnecessary.
Yeah, so get rid of this.
You either take you stop at the sweet shop if that's what you need.
Yes.
You're craving wine gums. You stop at the sweet shop and you buy yourself something. You get on the plane and you can eat those in your seat. Don't leave a mess, though. And if you need water, they can give you water or coffee maybe, but nothing more.
Yeah, I think that's also the issue. Maybe they must also, if they want to make money, include it in like the ticket price.
Sure.
Or, you know, to say, okay, cool.
But
when
these
you-
low-cost airlines, they don't need to serve that shit.
You know what I mean? It's just 2 hours. You
It's
can
a bus.
eat before.
It's a bus in
You
the
can
sky.
make it.
You'll
You
be
can
fine.
definitely make it.
Right.
And they can always have things
I
just
mean-
on hand for like the people who are diabetic and need to eat something, you know, just. But other than that, I think, stop it, you know, because now look, someone's banned. But that's their problem.
It's a them problem, but everyone else is also, because yesterday was a waste of time for all of those people. So I do want to say, just again, I don't enjoy air travel. I don't think it's luxurious or exciting or glamorous at all. It's just a bus in the sky. Doesn't matter which airline, they're all kind of the same to me. There's nothing. There are sometimes you meet the friendliest people who are very, very good ambassadors for their airline. You know, sometimes you don't.
Yeah. Sometimes it's shaky, even the airplane itself.
Yeah.
Just like, am I going to reach my destination?
You look at you look at the interior of some of these planes and you
You're
think
like,
this thing was built in the 70s. It's older than me.
Yeah, you're like, I'm going to say a prayer before we leave because I don't know if I'm going to make it.
All I'm going to say is that the incident would have gone differently in a taxi. Just imagine.
Because the taxi, let me tell you something. Taxi drivers are gangster. They would have left you there. They would have
Yeah.
stopped and left you in the middle of nowhere and been like, you want your change? Go find it.
Yeah. Taxis. That's the way to go. All right. Some other stuff that you may or may not want to know about today. So apparently they're inventing new problems all the time. Autism is now, like every third child has autism. And that may be true. There may be reasons for that. People are blaming vaccines and all kinds of things. I don't know. I'm no expert in this field and I don't want to climb into it. And I don't know that many people who have children with autism. One of my friends has a kid. And like it's a real thing. Okay, it's not a made-up thing. But they now say that there's something that is the opposite of autism, which is called Williams syndrome. Okay, are you ready for this?
Hit me.
Here's some bullshit for you, fresh from the cow. Williams syndrome is a rare genetic condition that causes people to be extremely friendly and trusting, often seeing strangers as instant friends. Linked to a missing section of chromosome 7, it affects brain wiring, emotional processing, and social behavior. While this openness can lead to vulnerability, it also offers insights into human traits like kindness and connection, showing that friendliness, though risky, is a deep human strength shaped by evolution. So now, stupid people who are over-friendly have a syndrome.
It sounds like me.
Yeah, but you're not stupid. And you don't trust,
friendly
no,
to
but you don't
people.
trust everybody.
Yes. But
In fact, I've heard you say in this very chair some things about how you don't trust anybody.
No, you shouldn't trust people, but being friendly, yes. You know, that's definitely me. I feel like they just described me in terms of friendliness, in terms of being kind to strangers. Like, I don't believe you must be rude.
No,
like,
you don't have to be rude.
Unprovoked.
But
Why?
this is overly friendly and trusting, seeing strangers as instant friends. I've seen you. Some people walk into the office and you go, you don't have fucking Williams syndrome. Am I right, guys? Yeah, please. Some people walk into the building and some people is like,
Yeah, they give off a vibe.
yeah.
I have to say
so then
that.
you
They
don't
give
have
off a
Williams.
vibe
Don't
where
worry,
you're like,
Sims. I've got good news. You don't have Williams syndrome. Okay. Williams syndrome is those people who you walk into a place, you've never met them before, and they're like, "Oh my God, hi, how are you?" And they're super friendly and super nice and syrupy and sweet, and you think, yeah, this person does have a section of chromosome 7 missing. I mean, I'm all for friendly people. Who doesn't like friendly people? I'd rather have friendly people any day of the week than twice on Sundays, right?
yes.
I know that's not how the saying goes, but I changed it in the execution. However, and of course they are to be preferred over grumpy people all the time. However, there is such a thing as overly friendly
Okay.
and overly familiar.
Okay.
You know, and they can be irritating.
Yeah, because they don't know when to. I think the issue with people like that, they don't know how to read the room. Because there's a time and a place for you to like be yappy and be like, "Hi guys, how are you? How's the Durban trip? How's this?" And then like you realize, oh no, this is not.
We're in a meeting.
Yes, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Or like Gareth is not in the best of moods, so he's not in the mood to talk. So let's not talk to him
They
today.
don't respond. So that's how it's probably the opposite of autism, because autistic kids and autistic adults can't read social cues. So they're not able to process and understand that someone is just being nice, or that someone is being angry, or that someone is trying to communicate something to you. That's where the wall is between them and the rest of us. Oh, by the way, syndromes down in the mine, says Bitcoin, but continuing a theme from, 2 weeks ago. But yeah, okay, so people are saying Williams syndrome is a thing.
Gosh, okay.
Autistic children down in the mines. You see, this is our audience. I think a lot of people who listen to and watch this show regularly, hate me if you like, I think a lot of you are all fucking autistic.
Yes.
Okay, and not in a good way. I mean, you might be brilliant, you might be genius, you might have Rain Man levels of capability in certain areas, but some of you have the social grace of camels. Okay?
Tell them, Gareth. Tell them.
Down in the mines with our audience. I'll have to be in there with you, though. Let's invent a syndrome that fits James, says Chris Smith.
I don't like that. On behalf of James, I draw the line, okay? You can blame him for a lot of things, but we're not going to name a syndrome after him.
Here's Carl DeSantos agreeing with me. I don't have autism, but I am socially inept. Okay, you admit it. Not many people like me. I just say whatever enters my depraved mind. I think that's what this little club of ours, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, is actually all about. It's like we all have a syndrome, but we just don't know what to call it. Communicate with a club to cure all syndromes, and a belt too, goon. So glad I'm not your kid.
But that works. I will say this
Club.
with my chest. I grew up. I wasn't abused, guys. I was not abused. But I knew now and then if I did something or I stepped out of line, a shambok was waiting for me, a belt was waiting for me, a clap was waiting for me at any given moment, right? And it could take place anytime. I might have the stamina to run.
That's why you wouldn't do anything like that guy on the plane. Because the clap would have reminded you back in your childhood, don't be that guy.
Yes. And look how I turned out. So all I'm saying is that it works. It works. Corporal punishment worked, guys. It produced really decent humans who are mindful of their environment. And I'm not saying abuse, guys, but just one or two. You'll be fine.
Tabo says, hebana. Utlwang khwalena. Lee says, I just don't like cunts. Is that a syndrome? No. That's kind of what binds us. That is the force that binds us on this show and in the wider world. Because there are lots of people who just haven't discovered this little community of ours yet. But they would feel the same, Lee. Azalea says, a snot clap.
Oh, that one. Please. You're going to traumatize me. But yes, it does the job. It does the job. All I'm saying is that you need to do it once or twice. And it's done. The person will never, ever be the same ever again. They'll be law-abiding. They'll make sure that, hey, before I
They'll be good citizens.
That's it. K1, K2.
Yeah, just a few claps. If we just handed out a few claps.
Yes.
Right.
That's it.
Did it work, though, Sims? Because you're still a mess, says Tabo.
I'm not banned from any airline.
Yeah, exactly. She's on no-fly lists, right? She's all right. Okay, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back in a moment or two. Don't go anywhere. It's Friday morning. It is the weekend, baby. This is the Gareth Cliff Show on the Real Network. Good morning.
This is an artist who's been in the game, have to be.
I'm the best rapper ever. This is not a speech, no, it's the breath of an idol. With killer verses like I beat you to death with a Bible.
phela mina ngiyinsizwa mina ngiyinsizwa.
Hello, Dumela, Sawabona, how's it? And welcome to another edition of the On the Bounce Show. After many entertaining matches across a variety of tournaments, we are down to the finals, the big kahunas, when it comes to football matches this season. 4 major finals, 8 big teams, all with hopes and dreams, and one special guest to bring it all together. It's ex-professional footballer Dane Clayt, joining the guys in studio to bring us up to speed on what to expect in the upcoming finals this month. Arsenal fans, perhaps catch up with us again next week. It's episode 48. It's trophy time. Let's get into it.
All right, good morning. It is Friday, and we are ready to take you into the weekend. There's plenty of stuff to talk about. What a time to be alive, man. Apparently, we have an ageless beauty contest in South Africa. I didn't even know about this. I didn't know this is a real thing. But apparently a whole lot of older ladies, let's put it that way, are strutting their stuff on the catwalk in Togoza. Yes, they feature prayer, music, and a stand against domestic violence among their things. Here's one of those ladies in that beauty contest in Togoza. I mean, I don't have a problem with this. I don't think anyone would have a problem with this. Seems like these ladies are enjoying themselves. You know, and a beauty pageant's a big thing in South Africa. It doesn't matter what community you're in. There's always some Mrs. something or another. I mean, look at these gogos. They're getting their makeup on.
I love it.
Getting their outfits on. Yeah.
You know, there's a Zulu saying "Guko Tandai," which basically means, how do I translate it in English? Or the essence of that is like, you age because you want to.
Oh,
right?
yeah. So like graceful aging.
Yes, right? And so like you do things that keep you young. So it doesn't
Right.
matter how old you are.
And you can have a beauty pageant in your
Yes.
70s. Look at these
Yes.
these ladies.
So like I think this is beautiful. Like, you know,
Yeah.
you're only as old as you feel. There we go. That's the English.
I mean, there's a part of me that says you ladies should rather have a sewing club or a church group or singing. But they want a beauty pageant. Who the hell am I to argue?
Let them live their best life. I'm for it. You'll find that they have a lot of wisdom. And in fact, these are the beauty
I
pageant.
can see you running the beauty pageant in your 60s.
I could do that, definitely.
Yeah, the Simpium
de-
Tetwa beauty pageant.
Definitely. And I'd have all the wisdom and knowledge.
And you
of
have a
this.
makeup line.
Come on now. And teaching the young girls what to do, what not to do. You know? Like, I think I would take like whoever wins this pageant more seriously, because what they have to say would be like, oh, okay, you've lived
Sure.
a life worth of showing, well, what pearls of wisdom.
Rather these ladies than some beauty queen who's 19 and wants to solve world peace.
Not even that. So I don't know if you've seen, Michelle Obama has like started a podcast or is doing the rounds, and she's just been complaining. And like complaining and complaining. So like for
Really?
me, yeah. So for like I can't listen to her anymore. So I'd rather listen
What's
to
she complaining about? What has she got to complain about?
being the first lady, how they had to pay for everything, how they didn't make money.
What are you
oh
talking
my gosh,
These
she's
people are
just
worth
like-
hundreds of millions of dollars. They live in a mansion in Martha's Vineyard. They've got their own. They've got sea frontage. They've got a chef. They've got a person. Well, oh, hang on. They killed their chef. No, I mean the chef was found dead. What's she complaining about?
Oh, she's complete. Like there's a part in her podcast where she details how in the White House you pay for everything, right? Except for the staff. You pay for your own travel
Good.
if it's not with the president. So
Sure.
anything outside of the presidency.
Good. Our
if you're not
politicians should do the same.
So
Don't
if
you
you're
think?
not, I think so.
Yeah, I
so
mean-
if you're not traveling with the
Yeah.
president, you pay for your own food, and yeah, the only thing you actually don't pay for is the staff in the White House. But everything else is on you, and whatever you eat, whatever
But
you do.
she's got lots of money, so what's she talking about?
I know, right? And then how she
Oy.
was complaining about how, when they campaign for the presidency, how all that money is your own money that you have to somewhat conjure up. And
What is she? Are you serious? Like,
I'm serious.
Okay.
She's been going around, and she's like also been doing interviews, and it's like, it's annoying to see.
yeah,
Right?
I
'Cause
I don't understand. Like the average American, let's not even say American. Someone here in this place, South Africa, listening to or watching someone who's gone to the very top. She was the first lady of the United States.
Come on.
You've done great. Like Michelle, take the rest of your life off. You've done okay.
Yes.
You live extremely well now. You could call up anyone on earth and they'll take your call.
Yeah.
Anyone. You can go anywhere. You can go on holiday now for months at a time if you like. You can write books. You can do podcasts. You can do whatever you want. By the way, I just have to say, a little bit late to the podcast game. You should have given me a call 10 years ago. But okay. So she's doing a podcast now where
Yeah.
she complains. The people listening to that podcast are facing the bank coming to take their house away, their petrol in their cars run out if they have a car, they can't afford the school fees, the price of food has gone up and they're struggling to make ends meet. There are all kinds of debit orders that are going off and not enough cash in the account, and you want to complain about paying for food in the White House every now and then. I'm like, is this really? I mean, are you trying to make yourself seem worse to people or better? Because this is not a great way to make yourself seem better.
And this whole thing of trying to be relatable needs to stop.
Meghan Markle.
It just needs to just
Jesus.
stop, because at some point you stopped being relatable, and that's okay. Your life is different to the average person.
You're a rich elite person.
Yes.
You must.
And
you
it's
mu-
okay.
That's fine. We have nothing in common with you anymore.
Yeah, and that's okay. But don't try now dumb it down and be like, oh my gosh, we had to pay for everything. It's so hectic. It's like
You think
paying the
that's what
bills.
she's doing?
Yes, and that's how it came across, because she's not just complaining about the White House. She was also talking about like, oh, should you marry or date a broke man? She's like, I did it. It's like, wait a minute. You and Barack Obama weren't necessarily broke in the first place.
No.
You guys went to Ivy League varsities. So there is a difference in terms of when you say something, right? And when the average person is talking about a broke man.
Yeah.
This man always had a plan to do great things. He was always going to be great with or without you. And same with her. She was always going to do great things with or without Bar. So stop doing this thing of you want to be relatable to the everyday man. You guys are not. Your story, hey.
And then it backfires. Like I said, the person listening is going through shit. And they don't hear that as you're trying to relate to me. They're like,
It's very
this
patronizing.
person is an idiot
Yes.
because they don't understand a goddamn thing of how the world works.
Yes.
Right? Because you are living in a rarefied way. It's not like anyone else. Honestly, I don't understand why she's even doing a podcast. We don't need you to be relevant. You don't want to run for office. You've already told us that.
Yes.
So unless she's lying and she's using this to stay relevant for some reason, but really you don't have to, Michelle. Relevant for who? Like, I don't think anyone is standing around waiting for someone else to be relevant. People have got busy lives. They have really important things to worry about, things that affect them on a daily basis. You have an incredible story. We've heard it now. You've written a couple of books. You've been on a couple of interviews. You've got friends, powerful friends all over the world. You can hop on a yacht and you could be gone for 6 months and no one's going to worry. No one's sitting there going, oh, if we don't have her there in that meeting, how will we get this budget approved? No one's saying that because they don't need you. If you're invited to be on a board or you've started a foundation or a charity or something, awesome. And maybe it's doing great work. But it'll be fine if you're not there. There are probably competent people who can handle that for you.
Yes.
Go and enjoy your life. It's like I don't understand how people who've made billions of dollars, they want to keep on being in the game until their dying day. And maybe it's an energy thing that I don't understand.
No.
But there's got to be a point where you go, I'm having a very, very successful, good time here. But now I'm going to clear out of the way, spend
Yes.
time with my grandkids, and enjoy my life.
Yes. It's
Read them stories at night, sit by the fire.
Yes.
You know,
Live your best life. It's something that I learned in varsity is like you have to acknowledge the point of when you stop being the underdog, right? And when you've made it in life and now you are
Yes.
the guy that people want to be.
Right.
And when you acknowledge that, it's going to be so much nicer, so much better.
And
you live a life
and
that
by the
is
way-
totally different from you always trying to prove or like Michelle Obama, you don't need to prove anything to us.
No, you
don't
you've
need to
been at the
convince
very
us.
top. And that's also a good place to, as you say, stop thinking of yourself as the underdog. Accept that you've won at life.
Yes.
And go and enjoy yourself.
Now we aspire to be the first ladies. We're like, Michelle, you did it. We can do it.
Right,
You did we can do it. You don't need to now, like what you're leaving behind, your legacy. Game does it. Where I'm like, you're gonna complain about paying.
And sometimes the best thing to do with the legacy is leave it the hell alone.
Yes.
Quietly. There's also something amazing, and I have such respect and admiration for people who just quietly go off into a private existence that none of us know about. Barbara Walters went dilly. She lost her mind eventually, but no one saw her. For years before she died, she just quietly
Thank you.
was looked after by the family, the friends. She was visited by people very close to her. There was no press coverage. There were no photographs,
Look at that.
no videos of her stumbling down the street with a Zimmer frame. No one wants to see that shit. Just quietly disappear. It's so dignified. It's the right thing to do it because, like paying your TV license, it's the right thing to do.
Look at you, Mr. Ambassador.
All right. There's a new diamond. I know how girls always love a new diamond. So this one's a rare blue diamond that has
Ooh.
fetched 397 million rand. Look at it. At an auction in Geneva. I can see you're already in love, Simpiwe. Is that the only picture you got of it? Wow. Okay, but you can see that is a fantastic stone. So it's about, how many carats are we talking here? 10.3 carats, that's what it is. It's called Mediterranean Blue. It's sold at Sotheby's in Geneva, which is a great place to buy
Where
diamonds.
did they find it though?
It was mined in our Cullinan mines. It was showcased globally before the sale. It drew all kinds of excitement before they even went to auction. And apparently, the head of jewels for Sotheby's North America, Europe, and the Middle East. Imagine that's your job.
Sure.
Yeah, he said at the Abu Dhabi show. His name is Quig Bruning. Quig Bruning. What a job! You just deal with beautiful gemstones from all over the world.
Ooh.
Quite cool, huh? You're the head of jewels.
Ooh, your contact
If I had a
list
picture
must-
of Quig Brunig, I'd be interested to know what this guy
his
looks like.
contact list must be so interesting
Right.
because he doesn't talk to people that are not serious.
No, and they call him. They're like, "Hi, Quig. I've got $200 million to spend on a jewel. What do you got for me?" So anyway, after serving as an auctioneer at Tuesday's event, he hailed the gem as undoubtedly, listen to this, the defining stone of the season, whatever that means, in a statement that it ranks among the top blue diamonds ever sold.
Ooh.
397 million rand. Yeah. Okay, so have you found a picture of Quig? Okay, let's take a look at Quig Bruning.
Ooh, I'm ready. Like, we can be besties.
I think that would be amazing. As you say, the contact list, the
Yes.
kinds of, you fly
All
all the
over.
way to LA or London or Riyadh or wherever, and you have a little velvet thing that you unroll, and inside of it is nice little blue diamond. And you go, this tiny little thing, which I actually just kept, there he is, there's Quig Bruning.
Yes, he
Okay.
looks like a...
He looks like he could be working for the Bulls rugby PR department, right?
Yeah, he looks like a Fanamerva. Like,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, he does. Maybe he's also a refugee. So, all right. This little diamond is worth those 40 people's houses. Okay? Plus
Sure.
some.
Oh my gosh.
Think about this one. So this one was 397 million rand.
I wonder what his commission is like. Yes, see, I'm so impressed about like this.
I wonder,
man.
I mean, the most expensive house ever sold in South Africa is probably less than that.
Yeah.
So this, just think about how wild this is. There's the auction.
Sure.
Think about how wild this is. So a little stone, a stone that has been hidden in the ground here in South Africa. It's probably the
Yeah.
size at 10.3 carats. That's a fairly big stone. It's probably the size of your thumbnail. Okay? Maybe a little bit bigger. That is worth more than the most expensive house sold in South Africa. I mean, look it up.
it's-
Check me on this because I don't know what the most expensive house sold in South Africa might be 500 million, but that would be 500 million rand. We would have heard about that. I'm thinking that look at that thing, Simpiwe. Imagine being the jeweler had to cut it, and you know that if you don't cut it right and you break it in half by mistake,
Pressure.
because that can happen.
Yes. But also being the person to carry that around.
That's beautiful, though.
It is like you carrying like generations in your pocket. Because
Uh-huh.
it has to travel and stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I wonder what the insurance on that would be. Okay. There we go. Most expensive house ever sold in South Africa, 290 million. That's 100 million less than that stone.
Yes, you guys.
So don't say that we don't have a country with lots of opportunity. Some of it's buried in the ground. Someone
you-
dug this shit out with their hands, right?
Yo, man. And you know what's crazy? I'm like in awe of like this guy and his job. Someone bought that.
And be in awe of them. And they
Someone
never
could comfortably
you see,
afford that and be like,
It's probably Michelle Obama. She's just not talking about it because that would be the dignified thing to do is just suddenly arrive at a party and people go, oh, nice ring.
Yeah.
Thelma, when'd you get that? Oh, it's just a little thing. It's just a little thing that my husband decided to surprise me with because he'd been cheating on me with the housekeeper. I don't know. Yeah, you never know the story, but I'd love to make it up. I'd love to hear what you think that
Sure.
story is.
Yes.
Pretty incredible. Okay, so the thing on your hand is worth 200 million, then you won't have a hand for long. It depends where you are.
And if people know, that's the thing.
Yeah, a diamond heist on Netflix, a good watch. Gareth, stop cucking for the SABC. Yeah, because I pay. I
Yes, a law-abiding citizen.
I paid my license.
All right.
It's the right thing to do.
A round of applause for Gareth
went-
Cliff. Yay!
So this is amazing. So if you need to search for a young crypto billionaire to buy it for you, or from you, the diamond that is. That's from Bitcoin. But
Sounds dodge.
do you know who bought it? We don't. We have no idea. Most expensive house sold last year for 700 million in Camps Bay. Is that right? 700 million. Okay. That must be a hell of a house. Cool.
Oxalayo, that ring. Not ring.
It's almost the same. Right. This diamond.
That is the small thing.
Okay.
A couple of hectares with a small.
Time to get to work down in the mines, says Dave. Yeah, I'm telling you, this down in the mines, this is where it really.
But the money is not in you actually doing the physical labor. Let's be honest.
No, those people didn't get paid.
They
didn't
probably got
earn-
100 rand.
Yeah.
Like, they probably got 100.
Yeah,
Maybe
something-
200. 'Cause
Yeah.
It was that big. That's it.
yeah, not being in the mines.
Not being.
I would love to live in a glass house and have someone throw that stone at my house. Yes, that would be quite a good stone to have thrown at your house. Gareth paying his TV license is putting money in his own retirement account.
He paid it though.
Not sure about that. I think I lost money on that deal.
And you're going to keep on losing money. I'll tell you now. Next year
right.
you have to pay again.
P. Diddy would put it in his ear. Now, let's get onto
Oh.
this because Simpiwe has been watching. She's been our correspondent on the P. Diddy story. So this is what I know so far from what I saw on TV on Wednesday night.
Yes.
That the trial has started.
Yes, it has.
That Diddy's girlfriend was there
Yes.
with her BBL
Baby L Drizzy.
in the court. She didn't look at P. Diddy once. She only looked at the prosecutor. She broke down once or twice. She told stories about how these freak-offs would sometimes go on for days.
Yeah, that's Cassie.
And we haven't heard how much baby oil was involved.
A lot of baby oil.
Huge amount of baby oil.
Lots of baby oil.
We haven't heard names yet, or have we?
No names have been said except no, I lie. There has been one name. Something King. Shook Knight.
Oh, wow.
How Cassie acknowledges that there is a beef, or there was a beef between the two, and that's basically it. And she's basically been recounting their relationship of 10 years.
Now, remember, she was the one who was dragged down the corridor by her hair
Yes.
in that infamous video, and Diddy kicked her and hit her.
Yes.
So
they've
he's
shown
a real
that-
son of a bitch with her.
Yes, they've shown like the unedited version of that video, which is like 15 minutes long. And you kind of see her, because the question that the prosecutor, is it the prosecutor? Yeah, that has been asking is, why did you not leave? You were with him for 10
Right.
years. And she just kept saying she was in love. And it was difficult for her to leave because in that video, she was like, that was a perfect example of her trying to leave. And like literally, Diddy would grab her, he beat her. And in other cases where she managed to go back home, the bodyguards would fetch her. So like even his staff was involved in some of like making sure that like she was kept. So they never stayed together, which was a very interesting fun fact. They never stayed together, but he was always in close proximity to her. So she had an apartment.
So it was
and
controlling.
yes. And he had the keys to her apartment. Oh, wow. And if she did things that he didn't like, he would send either a bodyguard or a staff to fetch her, and then he would kind of reprimand her. And it didn't start off like that. So the relationship,
never
I think,
does,
yeah, like a year or two, once you've fallen in love, that's when he introduced the freak-offs, and then that's when it got worse. There was urination that took place.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, like the longest freak-off was like 4 days. And it's been very like interesting to see because she's recounting this. She's pregnant in her 3rd trimester. She's married
With
now.
his kid?
No.
Oh.
No, she's married to like some really amazing guy
right.
who they still kind of having a back and forth if he's allowed to be there to listen to her testimony because they might actually call him out to be a witness or
Sure.
to testify. His kids are there. Which is also interesting, Diddy's kids. And at some point of Cassie's testimony, they actually like left. They left the court.
I think it must be, he's on suicide watch, right?
Yes, he is.
So we know how that goes and how it worked out for Jeffrey Epstein. But I think we just got to cut to the chase here. People don't really care about any of the details here. They want to know who was there.
Yes, so I
Who
think
are the people who took part in the freak-off?
Offs. Yes, so right now it's been very light in terms of it's been Cassie, Diddy, and the escorts, right? And
Yeah,
they've
whores.
Yes, whores that she had to pick.
4 doors more
And he
whores.
liked them black
That's
and
it.
big.
There's a sign at Diddy's house that says 4 doors, more whores.
Mm-hmm.
There are literally 4 doors you could go in.
Yes, they haven't yet gone into the P. Diddy parties, right? So this is just, so far, it's just the...
And he liked the whores big, you say, and black.
Yes,
Okay.
that was his type.
Hey, Zulu girls, you've got some chance here.
So...
What's our girls?
Hey, it's still early days. I don't think Cassie's testimony has been very damning in terms of, for us as the public, it's like, oh my gosh, you know. But I think it's going to be the parties that
listen,
really tell us what kind of
I remember seeing
horrible
that
monster he
video,
is.
and it was very disturbing, and it's not nice to see anyone being treated like that. But, you know, the fact that this is a guy who got away with that sort of behavior because he was rich and famous,
yes.
nobody's idea of justice.
Yeah.
And now he's finally, you know, justice, the wheels, they may turn slowly, but they eventually turn. And I do think most people are just curious because they just want to know who was in those parties. just so they can say, oh,
Yes.
oh, she's bad or he's bad or whatever.
Yes. And the one person I do call to take the stand here in South Africa is our very own DJ PH. He was at one of those parties. Dude, my God, come on, tell us the truth.
Simpiwe is
Come
making
on,
allegations.
tell us the truth. It's not allegations.
No,
it's,
we've got photographs.
Yes, we have evidence that he was at one of those parties. All I'm saying is come take
Have
the
you
stand.
asked him when he's in the office?
I'm going to come. Here's the stand right next to me. And tell us what happened, sir.
Well,
what happened?
I will tell you that producers James and Flex have been trying to get PH off of the Shady podcast just one day to come and sit with us. And what has happened? He doesn't wake up that early because he's at freak-offs.
You know? Come on now, sir. Clear your name.
PH.
Clear all the allegations.
PH,
Clear it up.
People have got to know.
We want to know the truth. And you're the only one who can provide the truth, who was
Right.
there, and you are a fellow, South African. You have your own podcast on the Shady, podcast here on the Real Network. Pull through, sir.
All right. I do want to move on to something else because we were talking about a 397 million rand, what would you call it, diamond. It's a gemstone, a jewel.
Yes.
But Trump was offered a 400 million jet.
Yes. A
And-
Boeing jet.
Yeah, a free plane.
Yes, it's
And the
gorgeous, though.
Qataris, who obviously are trying to schmooze Trump up. And I mean, this is clever on their part, right?
It's gorgeous, though.
This is so clever because Trump is the kind of guy, oh, you're giving me a gift. I love a gift, a tremendous gift, incredible gift. It's my favorite thing to get a gift. He goes, I never look a gift horse in the mouth. And that's what he's telling people. So a lot of people in America are losing their minds. They're like, how could you accept a jet from, he goes, they're going to give us a free plane. Are you giving me a free plane? No, you're not. I'll take a free plane. Anyway, people are losing their minds. They're going like, oh, this is a bribe. They're going to use it to try and influence policy, all that kind of thing. Sure. But they could also just give him the plane and he just says, thanks, I'll have the plane. And that's that.
But this is politics. This happens all the time.
Sure it does.
It happens all the time. People mustn't be shocked. Hey, every president always gets gifts.
Yeah,
right?
but I mean, a $400 million.
I mean, this might be the most expensive gift, that has been gifted.
What I would do, and I wondered about this, if I received a plane from a foreign government and I was the president, I would have the Secret Service scan and strip and take out and rebuild and check for every kind of listening device, secret hidden things.
I'd re-gift it.
You'd re-gift it. So you just say, thanks very much.
Thank you.
I'll hand it on.
Yeah, I wouldn't tell them that, but I'd gift
Well,
it
I
to...
think they'd know if you're selling a plane on the open market. Are you going to secretly put that in some wrapping paper and send it to your friend?
Not maybe worst enemy, Because as you're saying, like, I wouldn't trust the plane. That's the thing. So I wouldn't want to keep it. I'd feel like maybe it's one of those... it's better if I don't have it, but it's rude to say no to a gift.
All right.
So you just
So you'd
re-gift
take it and then you'd re-gift it.
to an enemy.
Okay.
Enjoy it.
Maybe that's
whatever
what he'll do.
whatever it does for you. Have fun.
Well, he's, in a related story, he's signed a historic aviation deal with Qatar.
It's not by mistake.
Yep. During his visit to Qatar, President Donald Trump oversaw the signing of a historic aviation deal between Boeing and Qatar Airways, making the largest order in Boeing's history. Okay, well, Boeing's an American company. They're selling planes to Qatar, so this seems to be a good deal for America. The deal involves 210 aircraft with a valuation of $96 billion. So what's a $400 million jet then?
Nothing.
Zero. It's like a sweetener. Anyway, apparently, they're enhancing economic ties between the U.S. and Qatar. Additionally, Trump was honored as the first American president to officially visit the country, receiving significant ceremonial welcomes. There was a strange welcome that was given. See if you can find this video. I think it was in Saudi Arabia of a whole lot of women like waving their hair back and forth. I wave my hair back and forth.
Okay.
And guys with swords behind the women in a slightly menacing display. Because you're like, if those guys with the swords weren't there, would those girls be so excited to be doing this hair thing that they were doing?
No.
It's just a strange look. Different cultures.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of shit going down.
Hey.
I don't understand half of it. They had these women with the hair and the guys with the swords. It's just very strange. See if you can find a video of that for everybody to have a look at, because it's bizarre. Okay, then we have to talk about this too. We've got desks in the office for everybody. I don't know if you know about this.
Okay.
You don't? So everyone in the office has a desk, and
Okay.
we're going to evaluate now, as part of the show this morning, how everyone's desk looks. You don't have anything to be embarrassed or worried about.
Whoa.
We'll start. All right. Are you gonna give me random desks, and then we're gonna have to guess who it is,
Wait,
or are we going
disclaimer.
to announce whose desk it is and then talk
disclaimer,
about
the
it?
desks that are shown do not represent the views of Simpiwe Mthetha. Even
Wait
if my
and
desk
see.
is there.
Just wait and see. All right. So you're getting all nervous for nothing. Yeah. No problem. All right. All right. Anyway, we'll get to that.
Okay. I don't like where this is going, but hey.
Are you nervous?
I am.
But there's hardly anything on your desk.
Yeah, on a good day.
No, your desk is pretty neat and tidy. There's
But you never know. Like, you
some
know.
people here whose desks look like a dog's breakfast.
I'm a bit nervous. Like, okay.
All right. So that's coming up. We'll get to that in a second. There's no need for you to stress, Simpiwe. Calm
Okay.
down.
Okay.
And you've got some new series that you're watching that you've got to tell us about. Because this is the place where we share all the
I
series
have
that
to
we
give
watch.
credit. It's all thanks to Marvin Cohen. He plugged me onto this brilliant
Okay, Marv.
series. And I'm in love. I'm like deep in it. I'm only 8 episodes. No,
What's it
7.
called?
Mobland.
Mobland.
Yeah. Don't ask me where you stream it, because I got it illegally.
Great.
Don't ask me those questions.
Yeah.
But it's brilliant. I'm only up to episode 7.
Sure.
And I think that it's a 10-episode series. I could be mistaken. It's season 1. Absolutely brilliant. It stars Tom Hardy, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And it's about 2 families. It's about 2 families. I can share this. 2 families who are obviously gangster. And the one kid and the grandson of the basically Romeo and Juliet vibes.
I was going to
yeah.
say Montagues and Capulets.
Yes, they
Okay.
basically befriend each other, and then the one kid dies.
Ooh.
So now a
Vendetta.
war needs to take place now. And that's basically what takes place, is like, who killed the kid? We're trying to find out who killed the kid, who's behind it. And obviously, like, there's a lot going on in terms of the backgrounds, in terms of finding out who killed the kid, but what's happening.
Where is it set?
In the UK, there's a lot of like, you fucking cunt.
Oh, really? Oh, that's great. Okay, so it's foul language will
Foul
win.
language. The action is great. It's very simple. Nothing too out there, but brilliant.
Okay.
Absolutely
Mobland.
brilliant. Episode 1 takes a bit of time for you to get into it, so watch episode 2 immediately afterwards, and then you're going to be hooked.
Okay. Beaver says, "Damn, good show." Well, thank you, Beaver. We
It's a great show.
we were talking about trimming Beaver earlier this morning, so you look out because we're coming for you. All right. Hatfields and McCoy's vibe storyline very similar.
Yeah.
Somebody says here that it's in the Ray Donovan universe. People are guessing about your desk already. Do you want to hear what they think?
Oh, gosh. I'm so nervous.
And Azalea says she's just watched it. It's brilliant.
It is.
Okay, so
Don't ruin the other episodes. I
Congo
haven't
Chris
watched.
says, I
haven't
bet
finished it.
Simpiwe has an AfriForum sticker on her desk, and that's why she's worried.
How do you know?
so should we get into these things? Okay, so put up a random desk and we'll try to guess who it is. If it's someone on the staff that the audience don't know, we'll explain. Okay, go. All right, so this is...
I know whose desk that is.
There's a
immediately
Pickle
know.
Rick. There's a Pickle Rick mug. Mm-hmm. There's a whole lot of old water bottles.
Yeah.
There's a mpahla there from Chagas.
Yeah, okay.
There's some other that laptop with that sticker on, which I also recognize. And then there's a fan that operates under that laptop because it works very hard.
Yes.
And let's not forget that little tub of Vaseline.
Which is very important.
So I'm going to say this is a black person's desk.
Ooh, okay.
I'm going to say it's a man's desk.
Okay.
I'm going to say that man is Flex.
Correct.
Am I right?
Ting ting.
Okay.
I knew that.
It's not a bad desk, though. I mean, you can see the guy works.
Hard.
Right? There's stuff happening there.
Yeah. Okay.
If it's too clean and tidy, you always worry. And if it's too messy, you definitely worry.
Okay.
Rather clean and tidy, though. I know you're getting
yes.
nervous because
I am,
you're a clean and tidy person.
Yes, I like
All right,
my desk
let's have
clean.
another one.
Let's go.
Jeesh. Okay, now this.
Two screens.
Two
Ooh,
screens.
There's
and
a
you
water
can see
bottle.
Wendy in the background there, so we know it's not
It's
his.
not Wendy's.
By the way, he's positioned perfectly. This is a great photograph.
I know. Put me in, coach. Put me in. I know who's
Okay,
this.
go for
this
it.
is. There's two headsets. There is a water bottle. It is the one and only Georgina, who is an editor of ours.
That's correct. And she's a superb editor. And look at how organized that space is. Because to be an editor, you have to sit for long hours in front of the screen, clipping things together, cutting them, editing, moving shit around, listening to music. Sometimes you're in your own world
Yes.
while you're getting those clips out. And she's got headphones on.
Yes.
Sometimes I'll talk to her and she'll just not even know that I'm there.
Yes.
Right?
They do that. They live in their own
Right.
bubble.
But Georgina, that's a very busy desk indeed. Okay, then we've got another one. Oh, what a mess. Okay, this is a disaster. So what is that thing on the left? I know this is a big box that was delivered for me, but it's been put on this person's desk. What is that thing on the left?
On the left, isn't it Batman?
It's like a little statue. Oh, yeah, that's the Batman Funko Pop thing.
Yes.
Then there's a world globe, which we used on set for a while, 2 books, which no one's read.
Yeah.
Some
a fake
shit
plant.
in the background. There's the Leo DiCaprio meme from Django.
Anyone want to take a guess?
You want to guess? I know you know what this is.
I know whose desk.
Let's see. Let's see if anyone can guess it. If it's organized, it can't be James. Gareth. Ben.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have a desk. I don't even have a desk.
Fun fact.
I don't have an office or a desk here.
Yeah.
I don't. When I have to have meetings, I have to book a meeting room. Sometimes it's just me and one person in a huge big meeting room.
That is so true.
But I don't want an office or a desk. It's too much responsibility. It's not Ben, no. A Windows PC at the Real Network. There are some. Some of us use those.
Yeah.
Some of the programs we use are better on there. Okay, so it's James. Goon
Yeah.
got it right. Bitcoin Boot got it right. Well done, guys. It's James. That is just a disaster of a desk. In fact, it doesn't look any different. When was that photograph taken? Yesterday? Okay, so it doesn't look any different
horrible.
today. So
Horrible.
nothing's been done there.
I shouldn't be talking.
Yeah, next. Oh, but this is a dead giveaway because that's Wendy sitting there, right?
No, but it's not Wendy's.
It's not Wendy's desk. Okay, all I see is a multi-plug and a LGBTQ water bottle and another Checkers
That's the
impahla.
giveaway. The LGBTQ.
So that's Nomcebo, huh?
Thank you.
Okay, that's Noms. So Nomcebo is, yeah, I mean, listen. I don't think a whole lot's happening there. Is that her notebook there or is that Wendy's?
It's hers.
Oh, so he's just pretending to be her. Okay. All right. I would have liked to have seen what's in the impahla, but okay, fine. All right, that's Noms. Let's go next.
Oh,
Okay.
obvious.
Well, this one's a dead giveaway because there's Tian sitting at his desk with hard drives. This man fucking eats hard drives. You know, there is not a day that goes by that I don't worry about Tian and his hard drives.
Yeah, he has like 1, 2.
He has so
3
many. Simpiwe,
on him right
you must
now.
see how many emails I get from him about new hard drives, more hard drives. I think he
hard
stores
drives are
them.
expensive,
I
eh?
think he stores them in his pockets, in his lunchbox that you can see there. What is that? An Absa lunchbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, Absa lunchbox, water bottle,
And his
I
cup
mean, there's
of coffee. I
a
have
cup
to
of coffee,
say,
but there's a plant. It's not a bad desk. It's not disorganized.
yeah, but I have to say, Tian makes a mean cup of coffee.
Yeah, that's
One
right.
of the best.
And we're trying to get Tian to introduce you to the apartheid people who are going to make your biltong.
Yes, Yes, I'm all for it. I want to go to Aranya, guys. I think I could possibly meet the love of my life there, but I just want to go there for the vibe and taste the biltong. It has to be the best biltong in the world.
Okay. All right. So there's Tian at his desk. Nothing to be embarrassed about there. Just a ton of hard drives. What else? Oh my
Marv,
God. Okay.
Marvinator.
So there's Marv, who looks like he's got a terrible headache or something. Or else he's just sick of us. Also, a couple of hard drives, hey?
Yeah.
Cup of coffee, but very Spartan otherwise. There's not a lot going on there.
Yeah, he's the prankster-nator in the office, so...
I think Marv has to keep his desk clear because sometimes people put stuff on it to punish him.
Yeah, because he pranks everyone.
He pranks everyone, so everyone pranks him.
Yes.
Okay, but there's Marv. He looks very stressed in that picture, though.
Ooh, not
Did
a
he
good
know
look.
you were taking this picture? No. Okay, all right. That's fine. Nothing exciting to see there.
That's Amos.
This is Amos. Okay.
So with the vape even. Oh my gosh.
The vape. This is the guy who we explained. So Amos is also one of our editors. He explained the skr guy
yes,
to
he
us.
understood him perfectly.
He understood everything.
Like he was like, oh yeah. This is what he just said.
He knew all about that. That's how he talks. Amos is quite fashion forward.
Yeah, wearing clothes that are like triple his size.
Yeah, but he's got a look.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's probably the youngest.
Yeah, I think he's a Gen
on the
Z.
team.
He's a proper Gen
Yeah.
Z.
All right, so he
Yeah,
understands
he
all
keeps
this
us
shit.
young.
Yeah.
When I don't understand anything, I go to him.
Okay, but that's not bad. The good desk, a lot of work happens there.
Yeah, it's okay. He could do with a bit of a tidying.
All right.
The mama in me is coming out
All
to
right,
be like,
let's go next.
me.
This is Simpiwe's desk. This is a dead giveaway as well.
Yes.
See, you guys, you didn't make this the game that I hoped it would be. But Simpiwe's got nothing there except the
My
stuff she
notebook?
brings.
Yes, my
Yeah.
notebook, my cup of coffee,
Mm-hmm.
and my laptop. And then, as you guys can see, just in the background, my Stanley Cup.
Ah, yes. But that Stanley Cup lives here
Yes.
because you've got another one that you drag around with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be that girl. You have to have different bottles for different occasions. You know, like there's a Stanley Cup for here at work.
That's
There's
right.
one for the house. There's one for the car. Like you just have to be that girl. And if you want to buy me a Stanley, don't stop. Do it.
All right, so let's just see here. The laptop is far too small for Tian. Get that man a boot-sized laptop. Probably a good idea. Books that have never been read was definitely James's desk. A hard drive for every porn category, says Dirk. Well, we know what you would use it for then. Bitcoin, but just warning you, you can't use rands in Oranje. You need the aura.
It's fine. Hook me up, somebody. I just want to go. I'm ready. I can Afrikaans praat 'n bietjie.
Okay, so people are
yeah.
enjoying this. Very insightful to learn about the bigger team and all the people on the staff. Yeah, there are more people here than you know about,
Yeah.
and a lot of them do very important things that you see on social media. The clips that you see, a lot of the cut downs, the paid for stuff. These are the people who make it happen. Okay, lots of Vaseline in these photos. Is this better than baby oil? You don't understand. Flex can explain this, but I'll do it for him. We don't want ashy elbows
Oh, lips.
or lips, right? We don't want to look like we're drying out like prunes in the winter. And this doesn't just go for the black men, but it's good that they are taking care of themselves, right, Simpiwe?
That is very true. That is very, very true. Yeah, no ashiness shall be allowed in this office, you know. And that's basically it.
Dirk says, James obviously took these pictures, has the person in almost every photo. Good guessing game, James. Are there any left? Okay. All right. That's Nom's, but she's not at her desk.
That's Wendy.
That's Wendy's desk.
I can tell with this kaftan. There's a bit of a plant in the background. He also has two.
That's an organized desk, though, huh? So
Yeah.
a lot of screens.
Yes, a lot of screens. His keyboard is so cool. It makes like these cool sounds. So I am obsessed with keyboard sounds. And like you type on different keyboards, you'll hear different sounds. And his one makes the best sound. It's a bit loud. You can hear
Was
it.
it clack, 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 clack? Okay.
And they don't like it, but I love it. Like I could type
Okay.
on that keyboard all day, every day.
People are saying, what is up with all this Vaseline? Is this P. Diddy's basement, this office?
Guys.
No. The air is dry in Josie. That's true. Thank you very much, Dave. And then, no lip ice for lips, says Miggs. Vaseline's better.
Yeah.
James was the kid who played hide and seek in plain sight. Guys, I've hidden, but he's right there. Okay. Is that it?
That should be it.
Last one.
Oh, Sana.
Okay. This
Actually
is-
has a sanitizer.
What is going on? What is that thing there? It looks like that blue bottle. What is that?
It's a water bottle.
Is it?
Yes, it is. It's a water bottle.
And she's got hand sanitizer.
Yes. So she's still living in COVID times. But as you guys can see,
She's still living in COVID time. There's a guy on the plane next to me on the way to Durban in a mask. It's like, why?
that's
mean,
a throwback.
I'm okay if other people want to wear masks because,
Sure.
frankly, then you don't breathe or cough or, you might have terrible breath. Who knows?
Yeah.
Wear a mask. If I don't know you, go ahead, wear a mask.
Do you? It feels like a throwback when I see people with a mask. And yeah.
All right,
but
so-
also, as you guys can see, we like to stay hydrated in this office.
Yes, there's a lot of water bottles. And we've got a water machine there.
Yes.
One of those, what do they call them? Dispenser.
Yes.
Water dispenser.
Yes.
But people are also fairly addicted to coffee in this office.
Yeah. We also are a bit bougie because we don't drink regular milk. We drink barista milk.
And it's worth saying that in our office, because I've always complained about coffee for years, right?
Yes.
Because it's been like instant. The shit that makes you blind or whatever. Now, we have a proper machine with the machine that grinds the beans.
Yes.
Then we've got the machine that you do the
Yes.
and the psh
Oh,
with
yes.
the foam, the milk foam thing. And KB's actually a barista. He's done a course and
Yes.
everything.
So he makes
So
coffee.
yeah, it's really good. Only problem is that only opens up at like 9.
Yeah.
So if you come here before 9 o'clock, like if you're a guest on the show, James just makes you the stuff that makes you go blind. It's the best we can do, right, James?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've gotten a bit bougie since
though.
being here. You know,
Good,
like
we need that.
top tier coffee,
Yeah, sure.
top tier milk, top tier water, and making sure that we are not dry as well. You know, gotta not look ashy or like your
What is
problems.
concerning is the 1 liter tub of Vaseline is obviously hidden away in the drawers. No, guys, you're being distracted by the Vaseline. There's nothing incriminating on any of these desks. I love the way
Nothing at all.
our audience immediately go, Diddy parties, porn on the hard drives, all the bad shit, right?
You know,
Okay.
if they actually spent a day in the office, they might find out it's actually worse.
It's way worse. The things we talk about are way worse, right? Okay. James, you drive a lot of our conversation. Even if you don't feel it, we appreciate you most of the time. There's a nice comment from Dirk. Okay. If your coffee didn't come out at the end of a civet, you're living in the 90s. Stop it. Slippery pickle, that is outrageous. We do not need, what is that? Capilluac or whatever it is. It's that fancy coffee that they get from that animal that shits out coffee beans.
Oh, Marvin told me about it. Yeah, guys.
This is what you talk about in the office.
Yes, I mean, he's like, I think he's tried it or willing to try it. And, you know, I was like, it's not for me. Don't think I'll ever do that to myself.
No, it's not on my agenda either.
No.
All right, so there we go. We've played a little game of letting you into our office because the game itself was shit because you could see all the people in the pictures. But you got to see what the office, what the desks, I think people's desks tell you a lot about them.
Oh, yes.
I'll take a picture of my desk at home.
Okay.
Because I don't have a desk here. They don't allow me to have one. In fact, this isn't even mine. This gets taken away
Yes.
straight after the show and it gets used for something else. Right?
That is true.
So I don't even have this desk.
But I will say, I do judge people's desks if they
Oh,
have
yeah.
if they make it too personalized. Like
Yeah, yeah.
there's like a photo frame, there's like some flower things, there's this and that, and you're like, ma'am, you don't live at work. Like, take this home. Take it home. It's okay.
So I was in an office for some company that do financial something or another the other day. You must see how people have decorated their little cubicles, okay? And it's these the boring people who do boring work every day. But the amount of personalization in that little cubicle. Well, because they obviously spend a huge amount of time there. And they need to be reminded that they have a family. And they need to be reminded that there's more to life because they obviously are not having a whole lot of fun. I mean, it didn't give happy vibes. It gave like shrine sad vibes.
But it also, like, for me, it gives off, you're going to die at this place. Like,
Oh my God.
Like, I like
Oh my
empty
God.
desks because that means you're up and going. We never know if you're going to come back or not.
Yeah.
Now that
you could be you could be out of
personalized
there.
it.
Yeah, sure.
It means, you're going to be here for the next 30 years. This is your spot.
Congo Chris reckons that we have Jan Bichel playing on repeat in the office all the time. Is that true, James? We do sometimes. Ik ga naar een warm land, even op vakantie. How does it go then? Lekker bakken in de zon. We've had it so many times in this office that I now know it by heart. Picture of the wife attracts the babes. Yeah, that's. I always find that weird. It's like when a guy. I bet you it's the wife who says, "You have to put this picture of me up there, just so that those other bitches in your office don't get too comfortable." I reckon that's where it comes from.
I doubt it.
No?
I doubt it. I think guys just do that because either they want to get more babes or they really love their wife.
So, Goon says the sign of a cluttered desk, or a cluttered desk rather, is the sign of a cluttered mind.
Yeah, I agree.
And what about an empty desk? Is that a sign of an empty mind?
No, not at all. It just means you're neat and tidy and,
If you spend 18-hour days in cubicles doing something you hate, then you need to bling up your coffin.
But okay, what if a fire starts? What are you taking? What are you going to run off with? You can't take your whole desk. You see, at least my desk is empty. I take my laptop, I'm out.
All right. Coffee's wasted on me, too much for me, says Miggs. Thirsty and dry at the Real Network. Need endorsement from Unilever. All right. So there we go. There's lots of suggestions about how we can improve our desks too. Thanks very much. We won't take any of those.
Yeah, my desk
Simpiwe is
stay
not putting
empty.
more effort in. I did notice 2 brass photo frames.
Oh yeah, Senna got that. That's
Oh, it's
definitely
not
not
yours.
my
Oh, okay.
vibe. No, that's
Okay.
not me. That's why it's empty even. Like, I
Yeah,
really
there's
don't.
no one in there.
There's
There are
nothing.
these 2 photo frames, beautiful photo frames, but there's nothing in them, and there hasn't been.
I really don't.
She got them for you?
One for me, one for her.
Oh, that's very sweet. You haven't put anything in it.
No, sir. And
So
I
it's
shall
just going to
not.
stay empty on your desk.
Of course.
How?
It's not. It's James
Why don't
just
you
said-
put a picture of her in there?
I sit next to her. That's creepy.
Why don't you put a picture of Flex or James in there?
I'm not dating them, so no.
Flex, don't you think that would be nice if she put a picture of you there? He says creepy. Yeah, I mean, I think just,
I am a huge believer
So
in
you're just going to
keeping-
leave it empty?
Yes, keep your desk empty. If there's a fire, if you decide one day to
what
quit,
kind of horrible world do you live in, Simpiwe, where
I
there's
live in
a
the real
fire?
world. I live in the real world. If there's ever a fire, if one day you ever decide, oh, fuck it, I'm done with this place, you can literally stand up and walk away. You don't need
Yeah.
to now
Yeah.
take off this, take off that,
Right.
still be crying. No, you just
And
stand
have
up
a
and
box
leave.
that you put it all in.
Imagine.
You see these people in America, because you can fire anybody like easily there. And you see people out on the street in New York with their box, with all their shit from their desk.
I can't.
All their
believe-
shit. Their coffee
That can't
cup.
be me.
You've got your own coffee cup.
Yeah, that's one cup. That's the cup and the laptop. I'm done.
That's it. You're on your way there. All right. Well, don't get too attached to your desk is Simpiwe's message of the day.
Or else you might die there, guys. And I'm not. I'm not
A
judging.
miserable
anybody.
person you've become.
Do you? Don't listen to me, do you, guys?
You could at least put someone in that goddamn frame. All right. Happy Friday, y'all. Stay safe and blessed. See you all on Monday. Same picture, same place, same time. Thank you, Judas. You just put the words into my mouth. And I think that that's exactly what we got to do. Have a good weekend and stay warm because it's getting chilly.